Hi Deepika, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Tell me firstly, how was it working with the Men in White? It's the first time ever you're working with them, right?
Yes, the first time that I'm working with them, and I think everything that I'd heard of them was bang on. Everyone was telling me about how they're so synchronized and they speak together, they finish each other's lines, and that they're also really, really nice people to work with. That has exactly been my experience with them. I think they're wonderful people, they're really nice, warm people. They're always smiling, they're always happy. There's never like a tense moment or a tense situation with them, and even if there is, I think they've always handled it really well.
I've seen the two of them, you almost can't tell that they're handling such a big star cast, right?
It's amazing how we're doing such a big film, but you never really feel that. You feel like, you know, like you're shooting one small little thing over here and that's about it. And then today when I see everything put together, I realize the scale of the film. And I think that's because of their simplicity, you know, they're really simple, humble, nice people.
From almost not doing the film, aren't you glad you really did this one?
Yes, I'm glad it eventually worked out, you know, and I think some things are just destiny.
When you have such a big star cast with so many actors, do you get more possessive about your territory, like this is my part, this is your part? I mean, how does it really, how does the dynamics come together?
No, you know, these things are always well defined right from the beginning. There's a script that we all read at the beginning of the film, and you can't really change that. You can't change the process of storytelling. And obviously, if people have come on board, they've come on board reading the script and knowing what their part is.
I remember doing an interview with Farhan Akhtar once. He said that, you know, in the olden days when actresses didn't have bound scripts, that's when you would really fight for your
today
your
everything is, you know, it's all there. You know, you have it on paper. You know exactly what part you're playing, how much of screen time you have. And at the end of the day, like I said, you're telling a story, so you can't really change things around.
Talking about your chemistry with Saif, this is like your fourth film with him. How's it really changed over the years? I mean, that was a very sweet love story to this one. It's kind of a lot of it's graduated.
I mean, I don't think anything has changed drastically apart from the fact that I think in Race, yes, again we're opposite each other and again romantically involved. But it's slightly different from Cocktail and Love Aajkal because in Race the characters have a slight bit of negativity and they're always scheming and always planning. So
one up against the other.
Everyone's trying to be one up on the other. So I think that's the very slight difference in this film.
Saif almost considers you his lucky mascot. What do you say about that? And it's really worked that way for you all, right?
Yeah, I think that's really sweet. But it's never planned, you know, the number of films that we do or then how those films end up doing. I think we got lucky with Love Aajkal. I think it was Imtiaz's, I don't know why he thought of the two of us. Obviously, we fit the characters that he had written, but I don't think anyone had anticipated that kind of chemistry between the two of us. But I think it's great, and I'm glad that we did Cocktail after that and that we're doing Race now.
You know, John was recently awarded the sexiest man alive. So who do you really think is sexier, John or Saif, as in pure like sex appeal types?
For me, they both are. I think they're both extremely good looking and both very intelligent. And for me, that is sexy.
You know, last year we've seen some great roles for women. You know, people actually writing roles for women. What do you think about that? And you were in that space and time.
I think it's been a wonderful year for films, but also for the women. You're absolutely right. And I mean, it can only be a good thing. I'm glad that people finally realize that women are not just props in a movie and not used just as decoration in a movie, and that we can actually bring some substance to a film. I think that's great.
But there is also this entire fad of the 100 crore club, you know, who makes it to that mark. Are you a part of that race? I mean, how important
Clearly
do you
not.
think?
Clearly not. Like, I don't think any of my films have crossed the 100 crore mark. But that's not my priority or that's not my criteria for doing films in the first place. I would rather, for me, be part of films like Love Aajkal and Cocktail, where I've gained a lot more as an actor, where people come out enjoying a movie and also appreciate my performance, versus being part of films that just make big money, and if people don't end up liking a film, I don't see, apart from the producer benefiting, I don't see anybody else benefiting.
In fact, like Abhishek says, 100 crore club sounds like one party place. You just go and have a drink and party. It's like a nightclub.
No, and I mean, for the kind of, for the number of people watching movies today, I don't think 100 crores is a lot. You know, and I also feel like that number is just taking away from
The creativity of filmmaking.
yeah,
really.
like you can't put a number to a film. I mean,
Yeah.
I as an audience would rather go and watch a movie that entertains me and that I come out saying that, listen, this was a great film. And in that process, if the film ends up making that money, then great. And I think Barfi is a perfect example of that. I mean, I think it was a brilliant movie, and it made the money. So I mean, I would rather be part of films like that.
Like some actresses believe and say, they actually say this, that you need to have a Khan in your film for 100 crore success.
Clearly not.
Not for you at least. Okay, you're starting on a very good note. We believe you had a very big surprise birthday bash. Tell us about that.
I did nothing on my birthday, so I don't know where you're getting these reports from.
Yeah.
We've been shooting nights for Ramleela, and that's all I've been doing since the end of December actually. I've only been shooting every day. I didn't celebrate my birthday. And I think my parents were really kind to have flown down from Bangalore. And in spite of that, I still couldn't spend time with them. And so they ended up coming on my film set to spend some time with me. And that's all I've done on my birthday.
Fantastic story. This band, Baja, that Ranveer organized
See,
for you.
I've cleared it for you now.
So what are resolutions for this year? What are the kind of cinema you want to do? What are your plans? I mean, you have a lot on your plate already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm right now just focusing on the food that I have in my plate right now.
Doesn't look like you're eating much
I haven't
though.
ordered any more dishes for the time being.
How is it like going back working with Shahrukh again? I remember once you told me that when you're talking to Shahrukh, you're almost tongue-tied. Has it changed or are you still that way with him?
No, I think I'm a lot more comfortable now with him, around him. But he makes me feel like that. He makes me feel comfortable, and he makes me feel like he's approachable and that I can talk to him. Yeah, and we relive a lot of our old Om Shanti Om memories.
Your first film dip kind of thing. Yeah. You've done quite a few films now. So tell me, do you really feel competitive still? Do you feel the heat? Do you feel like the race to the top?
I've never felt it.
Do you feel part of the race?
I've never felt it, and that's never been my my ambition in life either. I think what I've always wanted to focus on, and I've always focused on, is doing good films and being part of good films. I think that excites me more than anything else, and I think everything else will follow, whether it's the fame, whether it's the success, whatever else that comes with being part of good films.
Yeah. But don't you think it's important to be competitive to get there, to be number one? Or do you really believe like you've got to be number one, number two?
I don't think it's important at all. I think it's important to have your own drive. You know, I'm driven and I'm focused. And I think for me that is enough.
Yeah. So how do you react to all these stories about this brand war with actresses like, Anushka and you recently?
There's nothing to react to. I think a brand right from the beginning is very clear about who they want and what they're looking for their brand. And I mean, there's nothing to react to.
Yeah. Tell me about Race, like, how Cocktail was. Like, it was a very bold role. So how much of yourself do you put into all your characters? Like for Cocktail or for Race?
Something like a Cocktail, I had to put in a lot because it's so different from the kind of person that I am. But again, like something like a Love Aajkal is very similar to the kind of person that I am.
It comes naturally to you, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some characters are just written with certain people in mind, and I guess Love Aajkal was one such role. I think he probably wrote it. I'm not saying he has, but he probably wrote it with me in mind. I didn't really have to do much outside of just being myself. And whereas Cocktail for me was very, very different because it completely took me out of my comfort zone, and I had to play a character that I just don't identify with at all.
Oh, really? Not at all?
Not at all.
What about Race?
Again, not at all. Apart from the intelligent bit.
And looking hot and sexy at all times?
No,
Kind of.
maybe. I don't know. See, I think they've always been known to present their actors, and not just the women, even the men. They've always presented them, and I say they, sorry, I mean Abbas and Mastanji, they've always presented them in a very beautiful, aesthetic sense. but you can't take away from the fact that the way we're styled or what we're doing in the film is also relevant to the characters in the film. So we don't just dress up a certain way because we feel like dressing up. We dress up like that because it's relevant to the film and to that scene.
But you have Ayan Mukherjee, Abbas Mustanji, and Sanjay Leela Bhansali. How contrasting?
And Rohit Shetty.
Oh yeah, Rohit Shetty, of course. So how contrasting is Sanjay Leela Bhansali? He's supposed to be really temperamental, right?
I don't know where you all get this information from. He's absolute genius. I mean, I think the kind of regular lines and regular scenes, what he can bring out of you is I mean, it's phenomenal. I can't even begin to explain. I think you should just wait for the movie.
How about working with Ranveer? He's fairly new compared to you. What are the dynamics like? I mean, how is the chemistry working with Ranveer?
Great. I mean, I think you need amazing chemistry for if you're doing a love story and if you're playing Romeo and Juliet. You have to have amazing chemistry, and I think somewhere Sanjay sir sees that we have that, and that's why he's cast us together.
Tell me really, how difficult is it to work with someone who you've been linked with, like with Ranveer Kapoor? Is it very comfortable, or does it get more uncomfortable because of the tension that you get?
No, I think it's something that I've never really thought about. Actually, I think the minute Ayan narrated Ye Jawani Hai Deewani to me, I think only the two of us could have played it. He's written it with the two of us in mind. This I can confidently say. I know that he's written Ye Jawani keeping the two of us in mind. It's nice when you identify or when you relate to a character.
In fact, recently you said that if you were Imtiaz Ali, would cast Ranveer and you in his next film. Is that true?
Yeah.
Or just a flash in a moment?
I still feel that.
Okay, tell us with Rohit Shetty. Like, does he have like action in his blood? Every moment is action for him?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Although I feel like this time with Chennai Express, there's a lot more romance in his movie, which I think is a new thing for him also. But definitely, I think he's itching to do like this. So there is one sequence. In fact, there's a sequence that we just shot, which could have very easily been a regular car sequence where two people get into a car and they leave. But in true Rohit Shetty style, in high speed, and the car turns, and it's a typical Rohit Shetty action moment that all of you will see.
And what about working with Salman Khan? They say like a sure shot 100 crore star. Though you don't believe in that, but you know, he is.
I'd love to work with him, you know, and yes, there has been a lot of speculation.
About cake.
Yeah, but there's nothing that I can really confirm right now. There's nothing in the pipeline, but I'd love to work with him.
So what makes Deepika's heart race? A 100 crore film or a national award? Which one would you pick?
A national award any day. What are you saying?
Okay, tell me, what do you do in the day of your release? Do you still feel nervous after so many films down?
I feel nervous before every event, every release, every premiere.
I don't believe that.
Every interview.
Wow.
I'm serious. You know, I think people think that, oh, you know, one does it and, you know, they're probably used to it and all. I don't know about the others, but for me, I'm nervous about these things. Yeah.
But the fact that Race is a multi-star, does it like make it easier for you? The pressure is just not so much only on you. Does it kind of ease it off a bit?
You work as a team. You know, you can't say that it's this one's pressure or that one's responsibility. If you're a part of a film, whether there's one person or 10 people, you are a part of that film and you are responsible for it doing well or not doing well. Yeah.
Great. Super talking with Deepika. Thanks so much.
Thank
I really
you.
hope this one takes you to the finish line. Thank you so much.
Thank you.